I'm reacting to your Friday Night SmackDown Hot Takes. Hot Takes is a weekly video series where I give you all a platform to be able to voice your thoughts, whether those are good thoughts, bad thoughts, or everything in between about the world of professional wrestling. So if you'd like to be featured in the next episode of Hot Takes, make sure that you follow me on X because I ask for your hot for every episode of Raw, SmackDown, and every WWE Premium Live event. And yes, we will be doing an episode of Hot Takes specifically for Saturday night's main event, so don't miss that too. As always, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, ring that bell for notifications. If you're a wrestling fan, I know that you're gonna fall in love with this YouTube channel because we always upload daily wrestling content. And if you do want even more daily wrestling content, check out the Patreon, patreon.com/SantiZap. Over there, we upload so much more content that we can never upload here on YouTube, so go check it out, patreon.com/SantiZap, link in the description, link in the pinned comment. Let's read your stupid shit now. Not gonna lie, the DIY heel turn got me. I wasn't expecting new tag team champions tonight, but a DIY heel turn is a way better solution to the problems that they've been having on the main roster than just a clean breakup. We've been through enough breakups already. So I was eventually expecting DIY to both turn heel and win the tag team titles. What I wasn't expecting was for them to do both of these things on this particular episode of Friday Night SmackDown. Mind you, an episode of SmackDown where this championship match wasn't even announced. It was just impromptu made in the middle of the episode. What a pleasant surprise. And just like you, I'm also glad that they didn't just do the breakup angle because we've seen Tommaso Ciampa versus Johnny Gargano before. We saw it in NXT Black and Gold, and yes, it was amazing. One of the greatest feuds that I've ever seen, and I do sincerely hope that they revisit it somewhere down the line. But a heel DIY is actually something that's brand new and fresh because we've never seen that before, neither in NXT nor on the main roster. I also believe that there was a power vacuum left where SmackDown desperately needed a really strong, incredible heel tag team to step up because Pretty Deadly can't really play that role. A-Town Down Under is nowhere to be found, and the Bloodline, which had that role, are pretty much entirely out of the tag team division now, especially now with the infamous Tongaloa being out indefinitely. So DIY stepping up and becoming that top heel team was not just great, but also highly necessary. So to me, this is just an all-around victory for the tag team division, for fans, and of course, Ciampa and Johnny Gargano. Kevin Owens should dethrone Cody Rhodes at Saturday night's main event. Kevin Owens losing twice to Cody, even after turning heel, would just hurt his credibility, and he's lost so many title matches in the past 5 years. Cody could even win the title back at the Rumble. So I disagree with you when you say that Kevin Owens would lose his credibility if he were to outright lose this feud. I mean, you pretty much mention it here. He's been a losing machine for the past 5 years, and yet here he is with his credibility at an all-time high. Kevin Owens is not this guy that has this fragile character or career where a loss would entirely bury him. He's going to be okay, win or lose. But the question really is, should Kevin Owens dethrone Cody Rhodes? And I think that my answer is, why not? That would be interesting, especially since everyone's expectation is that Cody Rhodes is just gonna happily waltz into WrestleMania 41 as the WWE champion. What if the WWE adds not just a tiny roadblock, but a giant roadblock in the way to Cody Rhodes getting to that WrestleMania 41 main event again, with him losing the title and needing to chase it to win it back before WrestleMania? That would be incredibly interesting. Do I think it's gonna happen? Hell no, but it would be interesting. Call me crazy, but with the trades that are happening, I'd like to see a Roman Reigns World Heavyweight Championship run. I mean, why not? Sure, it would absolutely help the credibility of the World Heavyweight Championship to have Roman Reigns carry it around, but let's not forget that Roman Reigns called this championship the Losers Championship. I just personally see Roman Reigns pretty much forever and always only going after the WWE Undisputed Championship, if he ever goes after a championship again, because he's just transcended the importance of material championships in the WWE. He's still the top guy without championships. Trading Raw and SmackDown superstars is a great idea. There are so many possible bangers that we can have now. Here's the thing, and I don't think that this is a hot take, especially when I explain it. This is such a much better idea than doing the traditional WWE draft. The transfer portal window, should absolutely replace the WWE draft altogether, because the only people that would get announced as trades in the draft portal would be people that actually switch shows. Think about the draft and how much time they waste announcing that, hey, we're going to draft Seth Rollins to Raw, even though he was already on Raw. Let's not do that anymore. Let's only talk about the people that are actually going to change TV shows. That is actually interesting. But yeah, I'm assuming this is all happening with the expansion of Raw going back to 3 hours, SmackDown going to 3 hours, USA Network and Netflix requesting certain people to be on their brands. So I'm all for this, and I hope, like I said, this just should replace the draft in terms of format. When Cody and Gunther switch brands, they should both keep their belts that they currently have. No need to make it awkward by handing each other's titles over. Well, I don't think anyone was expecting that to happen. That only happened with Charlotte and Becky Lynch because they were the Raw and the SmackDown Women's Tag Team Champions, and it wouldn't make sense for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship to be on Raw and vice versa. So they needed to switch. They don't need to switch. I don't think anybody thought that this was going to happen, dude. We are, even though they just did it with Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, I'm glad that they did the double heel turn with Ciampa and Gargano too. I personally didn't want to see them split up. So I'm with you. And it also is kind of telling me that maybe Triple H is going to start taking care of the tag team division a little bit more, because both of these heel turns were really necessary for their respective tag team brands as well. I especially like the Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa heel turn because this opens up an interesting possibility with Austin Theory, because we've been expecting an Austin Theory babyface turn with him separating himself from Grayson Waller. But what if now they do an Austin Theory extra heel turn and he attacks Grayson Waller and joins Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, and now Candice LeRae to reform the Way, and this expected Austin Theory babyface turn somehow turns into a Grayson Waller babyface turn. I'm not saying that that's going to happen, but the possibility is there now. Solo Sikoa has improved a lot, and especially with his mic work. His promos are getting better and better. So I do think that this is a prevailing thought with everybody. Solo Sikoa has been getting significantly much better with his promos over the last couple of months. That being said, the promo that he cut on this episode of Friday Night SmackDown was maybe the best of his entire career. He wasn't this like goofy version of himself that has worked in terms of winning fans over. This was an angry, pissed off version of Solo Sikoa that for the first time I bought. For the first time, I considered him an actually like super scary, dangerous threat to the WWE. I'm excited to see where they take this new bloodline, where they take this version of Solo Sikoa down the road. Super excited to see the potential trades of superstars between brands. It'll be a great way to keep both shows cooking and stay fresh at the same time. Oh, buddy, Dominic Mysterio, don't think that I didn't see you in the background. Look, this is getting everyone's brains turning. What brand is going to look the best after all of the trades are done? What superstars are going to move over? What alliances are going to be split? What new feuds are going to start? But the Judgment Day, that's an interesting situation. What if we have a situation where Dominic Mysterio steals the Judgment Day from right under Finn Balor and everyone except Finn Balor moves over to Friday Night SmackDown? That could be interesting. That is what this version of the WWE draft, this trade portal, could bring to us. And let's not forget that they mentioned that NXT is part of this. So some people should be going down to NXT and we should be getting some NXT call-ups. This is just awesome. The trade window concept is very much needed right now. Raw needs to get some more women's talent so that Liv has more competition for her title, while SmackDown needs to get more talent who can be world title contenders. So I definitely agree more with the women's statement that you made. Raw needs women, like desperately. It was a stark reminder of how much weaker Raw's women's division is when you saw the bracket for the Intercontinental Women's title versus if you were to compare it to the bracket of the United States Women's title that's over on SmackDown. The SmackDown Women's division is so much more stacked than what's happening over on Monday Night Raw. But it doesn't just have to be SmackDown women going over there. Don't forget that the greatest women's division is actually the NXT Women's division. They have so many women that could potentially get called up to make Monday Night Raw a significantly more competitive landscape for women's mid-card wrestling and for main event wrestling as well. Michael Cole getting that power window treatment. That is going to go down as a legendary wrestling gif and meme, I promise you. Bianca Belair is literally the EST of the WWE. Bianca Belair has won me over so much over the last couple of months. I love the fact that she is now this like distrusting version of what she used to be. She's still the superwoman that so many people loved, but now there are so many more layers to this character. She's got beef with people. Fair beef that makes sense, and I love it. On top of that, her matches have been so good recently. Her work in the tag team division has been great, and that match against Piper Niven, God fucking damn, that was a great TV match. So I love the added dimensions to Bianca Belair's character. I felt like they were dimensions that were needed, and they're working on me. Everything about Shinsuke's new character is so perfect. He gives off the scary heel vibe so well. This just really suits him, and he seems comfortable playing this type of character. Dude, he really does feel right at home. It almost feels like this is what he should have been doing the entire time that he was on the main roster. I love this version of Nakamura, as some people have been calling him, and that works because that entrance and just the vibe that he has, the way he was staring down the barrel of the bloodline, everything about this Shinsuke is so good.
Sammy, run from the taser, Sammy.
Oh my God! Oh, dude, look at this. Good God.
Before, what a debut. What a debut.
That was a sneak peek of this week's Wrestling is Cool Match Club, available exclusively on patreon.com/SantiZap. This week, we're looking at the ridiculous WrestleMania 38 match between Sami Zayn and Johnny Knoxville in an anything goes match. We're looking at a wild intergender match between Penta El Zero Miedo versus Io Sky in Lucha Underground. We're looking at the short but awesome match between Brock Lesnar and Samoa Joe at Great Balls of Fire. What a dumb name for a show. We're also going to be watching the Big Boom AJ Costco guys match that he just had at AEW Full Gear's pre-show. And we're looking back at the debut of the Shield during the triple threat match at Survivor Series between John Cena, Ryback, and CM Punk. You're going to be getting these watch-alongs and more, like our Raw reviews, SmackDown reviews, the Wrestling is Cool podcast 3 days early, the currently ongoing Royal Rumble watch-alongs that we're doing, and the Undertaker WrestleMania match watch-alongs as well. Again, all of this is available exclusively on patreon.com. I'll put the link in the description, the link in the pinned comment. Come give it a try even for just 1 month, because I'm confident that you're going to fall in love with it. This is all content that just never gets uploaded to YouTube because we just simply can't. If you're already a patron, thank you so much for your support. It's the reason why I'm able to do this as much as I do. Thank you very much, and back to the video. Absolutely love the unique heel turn of Gargano. Of course, most of us expected it to happen, but the way that it did was super fresh and unique. No, don't gaslight people. Not everybody was expecting this to happen, all right? Most people were just expecting the DIY like split and for Triple H to redo his greatest hit of the NXT Black and Gold storyline between Gargano and Ciampa. But I'm so excited for people that have only watched the main roster to get to see a heel Johnny Gargano and a heel Tommaso Ciampa. We've seen heel Tommaso Ciampa on the main roster, but not to the level that we saw him in NXT Black and Gold. I cannot wait for people that have only experienced main roster Gargano and Ciampa to see what they can both do as heels, because they are magnificent at the heel job. Stardust versus Shorty G was so good. The match and the promo was fantastic. What a pleasant surprise to have Chad Gable immediately inserted into such a high profile match and maybe future full-fledged feud on Friday Night SmackDown with Cody Rhodes, if Cody Rhodes doesn't get moved over to Monday Night Raw, which, let's face it, we're all expecting him to. But I love the promo. I love that Cody Rhodes acknowledged that he used to be Stardust and that he used to be Shorty G, and that they've both broken past those barriers that WWE placed on them. I also don't really recall too many times that Cody Rhodes actually acknowledges the existence of Stardust. So it's just cool. 2 tag team heel turns in 1 week. This feels like a turn in the shift of the tag team division booking as a whole. However, it's still too early to tell. So I'm glad that you and I see it this way. I think it is a shift in the focus of the tag team division, because both of these segments were incredible. They were given a lot of time. They were given a lot of build up to the inevitable big climactic moment as well. And I don't think that Triple H and WWE are going to give so much screen time and so much tender love and care to the build up of these climactic heel turns for them to just be disappeared and wasted away in the tag team division. I do believe that this is going to be a renaissance for tag team wrestling. This heel turn was brilliant. Another Santi prophecy got fulfilled. You called it and they made it happen. Editor, play the fucking click. I'm not going towards DIY because I feel like this split up storyline that's going on with Tommaso Ciampa turning heel and Johnny Gargano being good friends with the Motor City Machine Guns is eventually going to lead to both of these guys being heel and giving us a full-fledged heel version of DIY who will take out the Motor City Machine Guns and win the titles off of them. That's what I'm going with. That's right, folks. 60% of the time, I'm right every time. GOAT will be missed. Dude, that War Games match was Brutal. 3 major injuries that are leading to 3 undisclosed return timelines. Tongaloa, Jimmy Uso, and Bronson Reed all out indefinitely. That sucks ass. It's so bad that I wouldn't be surprised if WWE pulls War Games from their rotation next year, because these are all 3 people that were major players in their upcoming storylines going into WrestleMania. I hope and wish them all a speedy recovery. Thank you for putting your body on the line for our entertainment, but damn, dude, it sucks that many injuries happened on this show, let alone 1, but 3? Fuck, dude. Also, that Bronson Reed injury. Oh my, dude, WWE played that in slow motion for us. Ugh, that was so nasty. His ankle bent like silly putty. This cooked hard. Okay, this carpool karaoke interview that we had between Michael Cole and Kevin Owens after the DIY heel turn was my favorite moment of Friday Night SmackDown. It was just further clarification that Kevin Owens is right, but in him being right, he's going down a path of madness, and pretty much Michael Cole ratted out all the people that Kevin Owens is going to attack because he called out Jay, Jimmy, and Sami Zayn, and it hinted at a future Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens story arc, which makes sense because if Kevin Owens is gonna go after his friend Cody Rhodes for teaming up with Roman Reigns, he should absolutely go after his best friend and tag team partner and tag team champion that also teamed up with Roman Reigns. I can't wait to see how that also plays out, but this segment, this was brilliant. What happened to the Austin Theory babyface turn? Don't you know? Just let Papa H cook. Walk with me here. Aldis is bringing in someone special for Mello. Mello comes out to the ring for a match against a mystery opponent. Obafemi's music hits and Friday night grabs are all the way back. I absolutely could see this being Obafemi. Obafemi versus Carmelo Hayes was a feud in NXT that we just missed out on. Obafemi was on the rise when Carmelo Hayes was on his way to the main roster, and I would love to get this on the main roster. That would be great. And it is absolutely possible because NXT is part of this transfer portal thing that they're doing. I do think that it would make sense for Obafemi to stay in NXT and feud for the NXT title, but if there is somebody that is main roster ready right now, it's Obafemi. Highly doubt that this will happen, but if Tiffany wins the tournament and if she cashes in successfully, this would be awesome. Tiffy 2 belts would be great, and if there is somebody that could be compared to Architect Seth Rollins in terms of how much stock WWE sees in them and in terms of their in-ring talent, if there is a female version of that Seth Rollins, it is Tiffany Stratton. So I could see this because of how much value WWE clearly has in the future of Tiffany Stratton, just like they did with the future of Architect Seth Rollins. The crowd were just radio silent when Elektra was coming to the ring, made for an uncomfortable viewing. I think it's just the Legado del Fantasma theme. I don't know what it is, but it's not as if there is no noise. There is negative noise. Somehow there is less noise in the crowd, in the environment, when the Legado del Fantasma music hits for Elektra, for Santos Escobar especially, but also Los Lotharios as well. Isn't it too early for Motor City Machine Guns to lose the title? Their reign should have lasted 1 or 2 months longer, including competing at a pay-per-view. There were also so many people saying that, isn't it too early for Motor City Machine Guns to win the tag titles? So, I mean, it is what it is. But no, I don't think so. In the short time, albeit, that they've been tag team champions, they defended the titles way more than Judgment Day did in 4 months. So to me, it's not about how long the reign is, it's how fruitful and interesting it is and how great the feuds within the championship reigns actually develop. Judgment Day has held the titles for longer and they've developed no feuds, had no good matches. In the short amount of time that we had MCMG as champions, they had great matches, great feuds, capped off in a loss that has catapulted into a great feud with DIY. To me, it was a successful, albeit short, championship run. Read the sign, Santi. Read the sign. Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy for Hall of Fame. I mean, I'm down. I mean, you kind of sent this in as if I wouldn't agree with it. Yeah, of course the Hardy Boys should be in the Hall of Fame. I have a strong feeling that Naomi was the one who attacked Jade Cargill. Her pretending to be not act suspects me. Look, I'm starting to kind of lean towards it being Naomi as as well, because there's an interesting plot there. The plot could be that Naomi was left by the wayside, even though they all came up together as the big three going into WrestleMania 40, and she was just sort of left on her own while Bianca chose Jade Cargill to be her tag team partner. There's something there. I'm kind of down to see this at WrestleMania 41, maybe for a title. This doesn't need a title. Even though we've seen it before, I would absolutely love to see it again, because these are just such better characters now than they were in their WrestleMania match a couple of years ago. And the story would be so juicy. It would be fantastic. The storytelling and the narrative leading into this would be magical. This would be the Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn main roster feud that, even though we've already gotten, this is the version that we've all actually wanted. Not even the bloodline wanted to screw with this man. I don't think that it was possible, but Shinsuke being a threat is back, man. Dude, I noticed that too. That was great. Not only did they refuse to attack Shinsuke, but Shinsuke just did not back down. Looking like a rabid wolf. I thought that this was such a great look for Shinsuke. All right, folks, thanks so much for watching this episode of Hot Takes. That's it for this week. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye. Get out of here.